This week's episode of the Quick Stop F1 podcast is sponsored by Fanatics, the official F1 store partner, bringing you all the official garments from Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull, Ferrari, all of them, man. There. We even got posters, merchandise. I mean, look, it's got the lot. All you've got to do is use our affiliate link, which we will leave in the description below. And now it's time for the episode. Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Nyasha, and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Joining me as ever is this idiot. Stop it. I can't.
Money maker like some money. No, I got it. If you want to go and get it, stand next to the money. Stand. Hey.
I said
we Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Thandie. And you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. And for that, welcome.
There you go. Right, well, I can't say any more. Thank you so much, Annie. How you doing?
I'm all right, I'm all right. Chilling, killing.
Good, I'm glad. Lovely weekend of F1 racing in Australia. I feel like both of us didn't watch it at the time it was recorded or that time it happened. But
you know what? I was texting in the club.
Yeah, you were.
No, I was tweeting in the club because I was in Shoreditch. And I was like, I'm getting the taxi home now, which I was.
Yeah.
Got in a shower, took you and Trayvon's advice. You guys were like, get a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Get a shower, we'll get in bed. Got in bed. And what was off-putting, what was like sending my head west was it was dark outside, but I was seeing
light outside. Yeah.
Light. Yeah. So I fell asleep at parts, but good race.
So look, it's not
nice
about
outcome, innit?
Exactly, and it's not about whether I watched it, whether you watched it. We have all these people at home, but we have a guest with us today on our second time joining us on the show. Look, he's a big, football journalist. Big football pundit.
Bloody hell, man!
You know what I'm saying? They're podcasters out here changing the game. Do you know what I mean? We're paupers in this thing compared to our guests.
Shut up, man! Shut up! What do you mean? Shut up!
But no, really happy to have you back on the show. Welcome, Anita. How you doing, man?
I'm so happy to be back. I missed you guys so much.
We've been
so mad as well because it was almost this time last year. We had Anita, except it was time, weren't it?
It was around the time of the Austria races last year. So I felt like we were in the mud then, and welcome back.
Why didn't you guys get me your Drew Brazil, fam? You're in the mud with Austria, boy.
Yeah, for Brazil, we're actually planning on getting the Pope in.
Yeah.
To get some strong prayer going.
We're gonna get some real prayers.
Brazil is a very holy week.
Yeah, we need that. But look, Anita, I guess when we first spoke to you, you were, am I right? Last year was your first F1 season, I guess, following a whole season, right?
Yeah.
So obviously we've gone through, your first season, and we're into this one. How are you feeling about this season in general? I guess with the changes and the pace of Mercedes and Ferrari and all this change that's kind of happened, I guess, as a relatively new fan, but someone in their second season, I guess, how you feeling about F1 right now?
You know what? I feel okay, but it's not even about the changes. None of that is exciting to me. The excitement is just watching Max Verstappen kind of capitulate a little bit, like kind of come down that pecking order. That's the excitement for me right now. Yeah. This is my first time watching it, for the whole season, but I've always seen my dad, and I'm just passing through with my dad, and my dad will be always cursing at Verstappen, but he'll always end up happy at the end of it. At the end of last season, my dad was not a happy bunny. My dad was livid. I was sick up in my bed, and I was livid as well. So now this season is the season for vengeance.
Yes.
Whether Lewis has a car or not, I will be avenged.
I love it.
100%. Payback time.
It is payback time, isn't it? But look, and I think that was the funniest thing. Obviously, I missed the race, so I normally would like live tweet during the race, and I just woke up to a bunch of notifications like, "Wake up, everyone! Wake up! The prayers have been answered." I was like, "What's
You know what? I was actually shout out Mary. I was in a space with her at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. and she kept trying, Thandie, come talk. Thandie was not gonna talk. But I was listening and I really enjoyed that space. So shout out Mary for inviting me.
Okay,
I don't talk between the hours of 4 and 10 o'clock.
It's hard enough getting her to talk on this podcast, guys.
Yeah.
So 4 o'clock in the morning is not gonna happen. But no, I hear it. And look, we had a interesting weekend. You know what? Yeah, we were saying off air. I think this was the first race in the daytime since Brazil. So every race since Brazil has been a night race. So it was actually even a bit mad looking at it like, oh wow, Dubai is a dusk till evening race. So it kind of starts out sunset, but it ends up at night.
Did you not check the drivers, checking their mirrors? Because the sun was just...
The visors, they kept having to adjust get the new visors in from the helmet. So very weird race in terms of just it being daytime and it being at arse end o'clock in the morning. But I guess let's just get straight into it. I want to talk about, let's talk about in general, are we looking at some Ferrari dominance and Leclerc dominance right now? Because we go into the race and Charles Leclerc is the winner of the Australian Grand Prix. He got pole position, he got fastest lap, and he led every single lap easily.
And can we also say he's the first Ferrari to do it since Kimi?
That's actually incorrect. But I like it's since Fernando.
It was.
I'm sure it was Kimi.
No,
They mentioned it.
I literally just watched the race about 2 hours ago. So that's what it was. Fernando Alonso. I promise.
Okay.
I also got on here with the stat man last week, so I've caught it. I've caught the bug.
Since somebody else.
since it's a long time.
For a while. He's the first one to have done it for a while, okay?
Yes, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, go ahead.
So no, I mean it's good. I mean, like this kid is clearly favorite for the championship right now. Anita, what are your thoughts on Charles Leclerc and Ferrari? Do you have I guess obviously we know Lewis is probably, Lewis is your favorite, and you follow Mercedes and Lewis, but what are your thoughts on Charles and I guess the job that he's done this season?
I mean, he's exceeded my expectations. I won't lie to you. At the beginning of the season, everyone was talking about whether he'd be able to kind of match Carlos Sainz, whether Carlos Sainz will be the better driver, etc., etc. And I was just sitting there in the sidelines thinking, from what I've seen, I think Charles can do it. Do you know when you're talking amongst F1 experts, you just want to be like, so from what I've seen, I think Charles might be able to do it. And they're just like, what do you know, man? And I'm just like, okay, no problem. So, he's exceeded my expectations. I did think Ferrari had the fastest car, but for the longest, I'm not going to lie to you, even up until the Bahrain, the actual race of Bahrain, I thought Mercedes were sandbagging it. Up until the race. So I was hoping that maybe even George Russell will pull something out the bag and we'd see that kind of dominance there. But I know Thandie's probably screwing a little bit. I watched an episode and she was just like, I don't trust this guy. Like, I don't trust him.
Now, Anita. Don't do that.
I'm just saying.
Okay. I had to come on here and I had to clarify what I said. You misquoting me. I just said, you know what? I can understand why people might not trust him. Nyasha asked me, why would people not trust him? Why? You, Thandie, why would people not trust him? Not, why do you not trust him, okay? But I was actually...
you see how scarred she is from the pamming she got. Oh, the PTSD from the... Oh, my God.
Oh God! No, I remember watching it, and I was just like,
he's being dragged by a crowd. that was me. Okay, the meme pages got hold of it, the Instagram pages got hold of it, and I didn't actually get but I was thinking this as I was setting up for today's show, that I do have to address my statements about George Russell, and I'm pretty sure you want to know where I'm at with him.
Oh, where are you at, Thandie, with George Russell? Tell us, please.
Fuck you. I like George.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Oh, sorry, listeners. Yeah, I'm so sorry. We've got no sound effects today, so I'm afraid that I might even put this in after. Now I've got time. We're recording in plenty of time, so I might just insert some kind of sound effect in there. But Thandie, what's done it? What has changed, Thandie?
For those who know me,
yeah,
I'm a very reserved woman. I'm a very reserved woman, and I don't like to allow people to just get there. Like, we can't just be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it took me some time, and I have never been a person who likes to admit defeat.
Yeah.
Not defeat though, because we are all team LH.
We're all team LH, team Mercedes, yeah.
So don't turn against me. But yeah, maybe I was wrong.
Oh wow. Wow. You know what? There's no sound effects, but I'm just gonna.
I'm done.
Maybe I was wrong. He's excellent, and he's a good lad. He's a good lad. Good lad. Good race mate, teammate. The banter's flowing. Plays. It's not even like at the moment, obviously, it's not really a second driver dynamic. It's literally just teammates just trying to gather them points, and he's doing absolutely amazing. I can't fault the lad. I can't fault him.
There you go. And look, thank you, Thandie, for that. That is beautiful. And look, it's good. When we had that conversation, I think it was with Aldous, wasn't it? And it was, I think it was after
That was literally like
France last year, maybe. I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
It was.
So it was, I don't think he'd even had the Belgian podium, I guess, at that point. So we didn't even have that kind of metric to go by and all those things. So I think it was, look, again, and as well, you weren't alone in saying the things you've said about George Russell, and there are still people who've got reservations about George. And I think especially because, Anita, I guess I'll come to you on this. Again, as someone who fairly new to the sport, I guess you can't have escaped, I guess, the British kind of people talk about British bias for Hamilton, but I guess we're starting to notice the way that things are reported with George and the excitement for George. They're hyping up that he's second in the championship and he's beating Lewis in 2 out of 3 races, and the way that they question George after the race. You're already beating Lewis. How does that feel? But how do you judge George's kind of, I guess, character whilst dealing with all that? Because I think it's been impressive.
It's been. Yes, I'll agree. It's been impressive. It's kind of expected though. Like, everyone's kind of like bigging him up for it, but I expect that from teammates. You get if people are trying to stir the narrative, we all know what comes with being Lewis Hamilton's teammate. The narrative is going to get stirred. People are going to pick at little things. Even in the Australia race, when they were talking about Lewis Hamilton saying, you're putting me in a very difficult position, and already they're talking about he wants to overtake Russell when it wasn't even a case, and it's just down to George to kind of, I don't want to bring politics into it, but be that kind of ally to Lewis Hamilton and make sure that the media are not trying to put a narrative on there. Like, at the beginning of the season, I think he had an interview. I don't know, was it with GQ or something? He had an interview.
Yeah.
Talking about,
he had a GQ spread. Yeah.
Talking about being Lewis's teammate and talking about how the narrative's going to be set, blah, 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 but that's not the case. And I appreciate all of that. I'm not going to lie to you. He's handled things tremendously, but it's only a few races, when a situation like Australia happens again and Lewis is faster, who knows if the narrative changes, So, but for now, it's been impressive.
It's gorgeous to see as well, because there's been so many pictures out recently on Twitter of Lewis as a young driver, George is literally a little baby looking up to him. And then you're seeing all these clips of them doing banter, and George is such, as you said, an ally to him. But at the same time, it's a friendship, it's mutual respect, and he's so well media trained. That's it. Whether it's intentional, maybe the lad's just been raised correctly, but he's so well media trained. His PR is fantastic. So shout out George.
Shout out to George indeed. I think it's interesting as well. There's one thing I just wanted to know. In that, Mercedes struggles, okay? We know that Mercedes are struggling with the car in practice. You know, that car would just look so far off the pace. I think they were 11th and 13th after FP2, potentially. And as what Lewis came out with after qualifying, when he qualified ahead of George, was that he was carrying 1.5 extra kg of weight to help with the porpoising, which doesn't get talked about, right? Because he's got a heavier car, should theoretically be slower. He's still put the time on George, and then in the race, he is basically ahead of Sergio Perez. Perez gets ahead of him again, but Lewis is about to overtake him, and then the safety car happens, and that allows George to have that position in the end. Now, you know, safety cars happen, these things happen, but you know, it is the second time in second race in a row that Lewis has been done over by the safety car, and it's funny to see people run with, and it's quite similar to the narrative I think people ran with Carlos Sainz and Leclerc last year, in that there were circumstances why Leclerc didn't beat Carlos Sainz over the seasons in terms of reliability and stuff like that. And there's reasons why George is winning at the moment, but they're happy to not say that. And they're happy to kind of push this agenda to kind of put Hamilton down. I think it's just important for people to be aware of that. Otherwise, you know, they could get swept up in narratives which are not, let's say, all necessarily true, I guess, is where I'd go from there. You know what? Let's just get into it, because I think we can cover the race by doing our stars and donkeys. So let's start with star of the day. Thandie, who is your star of the day?
Albon.
Yeah.
Rightfully his, isn't it?
Alex Albon, 57 laps on one tyre.
Salvaging that 10th position while starting from last.
Yeah.
And having 57 lap old tyres and still putting personal bests. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah. I mean, fair play to Williams. Every interview, I think he really wanted to emphasize that they did not expect to finish anywhere above 19th. And he's managed to bring that home in 10th. Do you rate Alex Albon, Anita? Is he?
I've always liked him. I don't know. He's so adorable. He is so cute. I've always liked him. He's that little boy that you want to be your little brother. Like, if he's getting bullied in the playground, you want to go help him. You want to go protect him. I love him. He's adorable. But just touching on what Thandie said, like 57 laps on one tire. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was thinking, yo, these people are mad. Like, when's he coming in?
These are like Lewis Hamilton stuff.
Bro.
Little Albon.
Bro, I was perplexed. Was it Lance Stroll that went in for the first safety car, and then he pitted, and then he went to a mediums, and he went back on hards in the next lap, thinking that he did something there. I'm thinking, look at your age mates, look at Albon. Yeah, why couldn't you do what he did? Can we talk about Lance Stroll today and Latifi, please?
Don't worry, look.
Really want to have a brief discussion.
We've got a donkey of the day section, and
it can go to 3 people. I'm gonna tell you that for free. That donkey of the day can go to 3 people. But Alex Albon, he really exceeded my expectations. I was thinking there's going to be a point where one of his tires is just going to give in on him, and it didn't. His tire management was great, and just kudos to him, innit? Like, hasn't what's his name? Jos Capito. He's tried something like this before, hasn't he? Leaving cars out for way too long, and then it just doesn't bang.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those strategies that either works well as it has with Albon, or it can just get disastrous and people just start overtaking you and you know. But Alex Albon said himself that he was the first few laps, because he was at the back, the first few laps he was able to just tire manage, and then once it got to like the last 25 laps or so, he was able to basically do qualifying laps every lap, and that's where you were seeing the personal bests, and that's what allowed him to kind of stay ahead. And then obviously once he made that pit stop, he'd made enough of a gap to Zhou Guanyu to come back out in 10th. And I mean, yeah, for him to have a pit stop's worth of gap from I think pitting from 6th or 7th back to 10th is incredible. And you know, as someone, I don't really want to rate him too much because he's still got the Red Bull logo all over the ting, and like,
but he almost wasn't gonna get the seat as well, was he? Like,
almost what?
He really wasn't gonna get the seat. No, ignore.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
No. But you know what they've done? You know what? He is proof that when you treat people well, they will treat you well back. And obviously he's a lovely guy, and Red Bull love him. And do you know what I mean? You know what he reminds me of? It reminds me when, you know, when your little siblings, like friends, come over and they're too shy, like, oh yes, Alex, you good? Oh yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, do you want anything to eat? But no, Mum, we can't eat at my house, thank you. Like,
Oh yeah, and you're like,
So cute.
wait, no, he's fine.
like, it's fine. Do you want some crisps? No, it's okay. I'm alright, don't worry.
That's so cute. That is so cute.
No, I've actually just deeped how cute Alex Albon actually is. No, he's a cutie. Bless him.
He's got did he dye his hair red as well? I don't know if that was a bit of felt, but he looks I don't even want to slander him, because I just feel like you just give me those little puppy dog eyes, and I'm like, oh, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, the red hair, what was that? You gotta slap your child for that one. Nah.
It wasn't great. But yeah, Alex Albon, well done. He did well. I'll give him that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that he did. To be fair, yeah, just again, yeah, you know, well done. He qualified well as well, and then he got disqualified for them not having a fuel sample. So, like, he already had a 3 plates grid penalty, and then he got disqualified. So he could be forgiven for thinking that he would just have a bad weekend after that, but he brought it back incredibly. Well done to Alex. Anita, star of the day.
Oh God. So we've already spoken about Alex. Who else is a star?
I do
don't
want
even know.
to say, I saw Lance Stroll actually take an effort this weekend.
I'm not putting Lance Stroll in the. Are you?
I just said I saw him make an effort. Okay. Nobody said we're giving him a crown. Nobody said we're gonna knight him. Relax. Okay. I just want to make that clear. Okay.
Okay, let's have a look at.
I'm trying to think who actually did well. Like, I was really tired watching the race. Like, Lewis had a good start, but lost position.
What about
not his fault? But
you got the McLarens, Lando Norris?
No.
Why not?
No.
I'm gonna have to challenge you on this. Like, why? You're gonna have to give me reasons why. Why?
Well, for me, it was nothing new. If I'm being honest with you.
Bare minimum. I'm not. Celebrating the bare minimum. That was not.
But their car was like one of the slowest cars 2 races ago, and now they're 5th and 6th.
But they started ahead of both Mercedes. No, Lando started ahead of both Mercedes and finished behind them both.
Quali. Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't this your? By the way, can we just note that we're in man's yard? These are man's ends.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that bit first before we start.
Okay. Shall we talk about why is Daniel Ricciardo? You know, last time, Anita, you came on here and you said, you know, is Lando Norris a bitch?
Did she?
That's what she asked. No, because
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I bet you any money Lando watched that episode, because since then
Then he went out. Look,
you've been fighting.
he was fighting, wasn't he?
Lando is not my problem. You know this personally.
Oh no,
Lando's not my.
I don't even want to talk about Lando. I want to talk about Ricardo because you're a big man. You're at your home Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Your teammate obviously is a bit slower, and maybe he has issues, but it's only the third race. Why isn't my man just overtaking Lando Norris there still? Home race, I don't know if Danny's got. I don't know if he's got the fight in him anymore, man. I think he's.
Your mates have come out. They've been like, "Oh, like what you doing this weekend?" So that's the ice cream man.
I was gonna say.
I'll take you.
Yeah,
What?
your mates have, oh, what you doing this weekend? Oh, Danny's coming back. Go on, lads, go ahead, lads. Crikey, all everything.
Pardon?
Mr. Crikey.
What a zinger! Get the Barbies out. Get worse accent. Get the Fosters out, and then it's like they all get slozzled in the decks. You just see their man do the bare minimum.
But he's happy, smiling, and everyone loves his happy demeanor. Happy guy. Happy.
I'm so sorry, but when I started watching F1 properly, I had high expectations for him. Such high expectations. I remember everyone telling me, my dad was like, Danny Ricciardo, yeah, we love him. And then I had such high expectations from him, and I've seen nothing. He's giving me nothing, and he's oozing in pity, and I don't like that. He needs to just take things by the balls and just be how he used to be when he was at Red Bull, be ruthless. He looks like he's given up, and I don't like it. I won't lie to you, I don't like it. He's lovely. I would love to be his friend and do like wild excursions and get tattoos and stuff, but
you know what I mean, be one of the geezers with him and that.
Yeah,
it's just too much honey, not enough badger. Do you know what I mean?
Oof. Oh,
that's a bar.
That's a bar right there. Ay. Too much honey, not enough. Ah. Now listen, that's called bars.
That's called bars.
Look. In we're obviously being quite critical of Danny Ricciardo. He did get a message to say to stay behind, but
they only tell the losers. Okay, first of all, only the losers get told to do that.
Fair play. Do you? I mean, look, if it carries on that Danny Ricciardo doesn't match Lando Norris this year, are we looking at next year being his last year in Formula One potentially?
I think Alpha and Romeo are hiring, aren't they?
No, they're not.
Wait, did you call them Alpha Romeo?
I'll take you.
Our boy Bottas is doing a good job, to be fair.
He is, to be fair.
So he's not going anywhere, and then they got Triple Zhao and Zhou Guan Yu. So, and he's actually doing well.
I love him.
I love him. I love him. That's my guy.
Fashionista. His pistol go bang bang boom boom.
Cool. So I was still asking for driver of the day, Anita. So
I thought we had skipped that part.
Okay, you know what? That's fine. I mean,
but that just says it all, doesn't it? Like, that is Australia. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I've never rated this circuit. Like, I always used to think when it was first in the first race, I was always used to think this is a bad race to have first. They've made some changes to the track. They tried to put 4 DRS zones in, and then they've taken 1 DRS zone out, and like there was some racing, and it was better, but it's like it used to just be like the Australian version of Monaco, and now it's I guess a little bit better, but I don't think it's a great race in all honesty. So but I guess I'm gonna give my drive of the day to. I'm gonna say obviously Charles Leclerc, I think, is incredible. We've already spoken about Charles Leclerc. I'm going to say a couple of things. One, I'm going to give some props to Esteban Ocon, who has beaten Alonso again. Obviously benefited from the safety car, but I just think that he's doing well. 7th in the Alpine. That's a good result. Bottas 8th in the Alfa Romeo. I think that is, he's thing is Bottas, yeah, that's his level. Right, doing, and I think it's hilarious that this weekend was the first weekend after 103 Grand Prix he didn't get into Q3, and but people always used to talk about his quality as Lewis's teammate, and he's an awful driver, this, that, and the other. And whenever we criticised him, we weren't saying he was awful. It was just that we needed more from him if you're going to be in the top 2 team, as we're seeing from George. But he's still a very decent driver, and it's hilarious seeing the narrative change on him now, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's so good! Look how he's getting the most out of the car." And yeah, it's just it's just funny to see, but. Yeah, my driver of the day. Man, this race was a bit.
Yo, this race, guys.
You know what? It sounds really bad, but I am gonna say Lando Norris, because I think end of the day, it's an improved performance from McLaren. That's good. 5th place. Yes, he started behind, but yeah. What I will say is, you know what? Fuck it. Lewis did a really good job.
Oh my gosh.
He did a really good job.
You.
Pardon?
Lando paying you.
No one's paid me. Okay. But I do want to
I feel like if you're going to give it to anyone other than Albon,
but then you should
Checo's a shout.
Checo's a shout, but I think
he's a shout.
I did whisper it before if you hear it in the mic.
I didn't hear it. We didn't.
That was when you don't really want to say it, but
I didn't really want to give it to Checo. But look, Checo did well, and look, he is performing a lot better this season. They almost look. They never really celebrate his accomplishments.
Right. Like, can we talk about this? Right. It's because. Right. Scripted.
Pardon?
It's scripted.
What's scripted?
The whole Red Bull is scripted, so they always are expecting someone else to win, the other guy. So when Checo gets a little win, it's a bit like,
yeah. They're so disappointed. They're so disappointed. It's like, sometimes it's like when your girl's like, "I've got you something special for your birthday," and then it's like lingerie or some shit, and it's like,
I'm so ungrateful.
I don't want that. I don't want that. But they don't want it. I'm just saying they don't want it.
You mean you don't want this box of 56 reasons why I love you?
No, I don't. I don't want the picture of me and you in a frame. I don't want that.
You don't want the bracelet?
No.
The matching bracelet with me?
Well, no. I don't want the little heart pendant with your face in it. I don't want that. You're giving me things I don't want. That's what Checo is like. There's like that meme when he's like, "I choose you."
Oh my god!
And they don't give a fuck about my guy.
I've never heard a more depressing radio telling him that he's P2. I was like, what? Because Starboy couldn't manage his bloody engine? That you're sad. It sounded so bad. And then you look at the celebrations after. If Max is on that podium, you see Christian Horner, you see them pan into his face. Yeah. Christian Horner was doing post-interview quick. He was doing it quick. And I was like, wow, y'all really don't care about him, do you?
It's giving middle child, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. Bless him. Bless Perez.
I'm not adopting any more players though. I can't adopt any more people.
What's that?
I can't adopt any more people into my family.
No, we're not. No, you're someone else's step. Yeah. Like, doing. We honestly.
We'll donate some clothes.
Yeah. If you want a coat, we've got a coat to keep you warm.
Got a coat. Name G1 though.
Yeah. Got Georgia as the coat for you. Look, Right, that's star of the day. Let's get into some slander. Donkey of the day.
Let's get
Actually,
meanness.
before we get into Donkey of the Day, I have to shout out some sponsors. And at this point, I am now going to insert the random advert that Acast inserts so we can get some money. Thank you very much. See you after the break. Okay, so there you go. That
Make sure
is.
you do cop a Fanatics top though, guys, because summer's coming and you want to be styling.
Do you know what I mean? Just if you're gonna go shop on the F1 store anyway, just use that code. Like that's what I'm
Just do
saying.
that.
I'm not saying that you have to go there and buy something, but
Have they got bucket hats?
they got everything on
They've
there.
got everything. They've got
Everything.
mugs.
No problem.
Mugs.
I've got some gifts to give to people.
You know, like your cousin.
use your code.
Birthday's coming up. He's always talking about Formula One. Your little sister, just get her a top. The missus, get her like a cool one. Get you matching ones. She might just get you tickets.
Yes.
Or a pendant.
Hopefully she doesn't get you a pendant. So, Donkey of the Day. Who wants to go first?
I feel like Anita's just been itchy.
Anita.
Okay, before we do it, right? Question: was there anything wrong with Carlos Sainz's setup or his car? Did something change?
Yes.
Because I don't know. I didn't watch everything.
So the only thing that was wrong with Carlos Sainz's car this weekend was he got anti-stall at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts that down to them having to change his steering wheel a minute before the race, and it had different settings to what he had expected for the start. And so when he did his start procedure, went into anti-stall, he lost places at the start. And obviously from there, he was trying to recover positions, and obviously that didn't work. Everything else is on him, basically. He just didn't seem dialed into the car. So
this was at the start of the race. What about during qualifying?
That's on him. He just never got in a good place with the car. That's on him, I guess. That's on him.
Sounds like a him problem, that one.
Sounds right. When your teammate is putting it on pole by 0.2 of a second, and you're in ninth.
Ding, ding, ding. Do we have a loser?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Science is probably. I could have given it to Stroll. I thought Stroll had a weekend and a half. Like his weekend was wow. And when he crashed with Latifi, and then he was like, "Oh, Latifi, where are you going?" I'm thinking, do you own your mirrors? I don't even drive, but I know to look into my mirrors. I know to look into. I don't care whose way you're trying to get out of. Your mirrors are there, 1 and 2.
No,
wow. Look at this,
Anita. I'm gonna have to disagree with you here.
Nah.
You saw the Williams, and then it's like, do you know what? I feel like when Latifi's driving, right? He's just right. He's like, because I've been go-karting before. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast. I've actually been go-karting before, so I know what it's like to be in that situation. So I feel like he gets to driving, and he's like, oh. What should I eat tonight?
Oh my God.
Did I leave the iron on? Did I make my bed? Where's my birth certificate? And then he's just not even paying attention. That was Latifi's fault. I have looked over that clip too many times. That was Latifi's, le loser's fault. Put him in a spliff and get him out of here. Out of here. His fault, 100%. I could not give a shit.
Listen, Miniker, I don't care. It could be any of their faults because they're both clowns.
Yeah,
I call them clowns. They are clowns. The pair of them, the second I saw it, I'm not going to lie, I blamed Latifi first. I was thinking, where's he going? I blamed him first. But then I'm just thinking, Lance, look in your mirrors, bro. Like you can clearly see he's coming. Look in your mirror. And it's just the reaction after. Latifi gave his usual, he touched me, blah, blah, blah. Like we always hear that, like it's fine. But Lance was cussing Latifi out. And I'm thinking, Lance, take your own responsibility too, bro. Like you're part to blame in this situation. And then getting a 5-second penalty during the race, right? I've told you guys, I have not been in F1 for long. But it's just not common courtesy that you just don't push someone off the circuit. Like I don't know. I thought that was
No,
common
it's not. No,
practice.
look, he's got 8 penalty points now. He's pretty close to getting a race suspension at this point. Yeah.
Latif, Stroll, it's enough. It is enough. It's actually enough.
I thought it was. Do you know what? Like, this weekend was the first weekend I kind of almost felt sorry for the lad. Just
Why?
hang it up, bro. Hang it up.
Yeah.
Like, hang it up. You and Latifi, to be fair, both of you get out of here.
I'm not gonna. I was flabbergasted
About Latifi at all. I have nothing great to say about him.
I mean, Latifi, I mean, we said everything that we could. Honestly, last week I thought was the peak of what we could say about Latifi. And then we come into this weekend and I literally woke up, opened my eye, and like literally 5 seconds later, the crash happened. And I was like, what? One heart. But sorry, for people who don't know that reference, that's just gonna sound so bad. But basically a rapper in England who says that, but he's a bit of a crackhead. But that's neither here nor there. So so Latifi, yeah, I mean, look, it's burst because he's so bad. We're in the same situation we were with George last year. It was like, how good is this Williams car? And, you know, how good are these drives that people are doing? Albon now, I said this at the beginning of the season. I said, if Albon doesn't go in, I think some people are like, oh, Albon's got his work cut out with Latifi. And I said, bruv, if Albon doesn't go in there and wipe the floor with this bum, then there's issues because this guy is awful. He is awful. So for me, I don't know if there's much more we can say. That incident, I mean, it's just it's such a bozo incident to happen, man. Like, Latifi, you've let a guy through. You've slowed down to let a guy through. He's gone past you. You're trying to overtake him up the inside. Even in a race situation, trying to go up the inside there is a madness. But you've done it. Lance has so much history of not looking in his mirrors. I cannot describe to you how many times this guy turns in on someone is actually enough. I could probably make a compilation just of the last 2 or 3 seasons alone of Lance Stroll turning into people on course. I can clearly remember off the top of my head like 2 or 3 where he's just not looked in his mirrors. Again, maybe he's just not expecting Latifi to send it up there as well. So there's so many factors in this. 2 drivers who are just not top level drivers, I guess. And it shows on incidents like that. And Latifi, bro, I think someone said there's 6 races in a row where he's had some kind of incident or something. Or
It's enough.
It's enough. I mean, I feel bad for Williams. This team are broke as well. Like, they're not. So, like, do you know what I mean? It's not even like.
You guys aren't. You guys are terrible and broke.
Do you know what I mean? Like, not only do you not have enough money to really develop this car anyway, but now you're gonna have to spend all of the money fixing the cars that I keep breaking.
Yeah.
And then in the race, I'm coming home last. Like, it's just, it's enough. It's enough. You're bad. Thandie, do you have a donkey of the day?
Latifi. Latifi. Daniel
Do you know what's so bad?
Anyway, so I'll just leave. I said Daniel Rick is just a disappointment anyway. I'll leave him. I feel like Yuki's been quite quiet. Not heard much from him.
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, he didn't finish last. He finished ahead of Alonso. Bless him. But Alonso got done over by a safety car. So
yeah, the grass was getting a lot of people this weekend. Everyone was just
the grass. Yeah. Wow. Oh yeah, we said Carlos Sainz as well. Yeah, Carlos Sainz.
I was gonna say I forgot to mention why Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
Donkey. Oops.
Carlos Sainz has to be careful now that he has to be careful. It's 3 races in a row that he's been, I would say, outclassed by Leclerc, pretty much. And if he doesn't win a race soon, he's just going to end up being their number 2 driver this season. And you don't know how many chances you get in a car that can win the title. They could be great this season. It could go to shit next season. You know, Mercedes could sort it out. Red Bull could sort it out. You know, as Verstappen is realizing, this shit comes around one time and it can go. Actually, we cannot do this podcast without talking about Red Bull powertrains. Oh, shit. My doggy of the day is going to go to Red Bull powertrains. Oh my god!
I think I can smell something funny. The car.
I can smell something funny. Something smells a bit off in the back of my car, bruv. Something's where it just keeps fucking itself.
Damn.
Oh, that's a shame.
Very interesting.
That's a shame. Ooh. Oh man, you know what? Yeah.
Never seen that video where he's like thinking about the olden days. They're the olden
They're
days.
the old days. I mean, God. Oh, Maximilian Verstappen. What's happened, bro?
Not Maximilian, I'm dying.
What's happened, bro? Oh no, not the engine again. Red Bull, yeah. Red Bull. The thing is, yeah, what's hilarious? We talked about, you know, Christian coming out in the interviews. It's like, I'd rather fix a fast, unreliable car than a slow, reliable car. Well,
Oh my god.
well, that's why. Man, like George Russell, PR63 is second in the championship, and your driver is currently like 5th or some shit after 3 races, two non-finishes, bro. It is hilarious, and let me tell you now, yeah. To all the haters out there, yeah. To all the haters out there, this weekend I said Charles is so clear of Max, it's ridiculous. And obviously, you know,
So clear.
Obviously, the Orange Army found that. They found that, you know, that's fine. I'm muted that. You can shout into the abyss. What's that, Handy?
Button, darling. Yeah. Don't worry about that. We don't even read your comments.
Don't even read the comments. But I thought I'd go back and read the comments because
I'm done.
I was like, you know what? Fuck it. What these men having to say about it? And underneath, I put, you know, you guys have seen this now, but just so you know, I'm still praying on his downfall. And people are like, how are you praying on? Pray on Lewis being in 6th hour. Well. The power of prayer. Let me tell you. Well. Let me tell you now, yeah. My God is an almighty God. Yeah.
Amen.
My God is an almighty God. Yeah. Let me tell because when, you know what, sometimes when I pray, and when I pray with as much in my heart as I have done, and those prayers are answered, you have to think about who you guys are talking to when you're talking to us. Yeah.
Amen.
Okay. So just remember that, because if I've prayed for his downfall this season, and then 2 out of 3 races, all of a sudden the car's going kaput, then I'd probably try and respect Quickstop F1 as a platform.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Eh? Anita, won't he do it?
Any race that has 57 or 58 laps, my God will do it for me. My God will do it for me. Any race with 57 or 58 laps, Bahrain, you saw what happened.
Oh.
Come to Australia, 58 laps. You saw what happened.
What
Any
happened?
race, 57 to 58 laps, my God will do it.
Oh man.
Mark my words.
You know what? You know what? And the thing is, it couldn't happen to a nicer set of fans. Like, honestly, you lot, and a big up to Max Verstappen fans who listen to this podcast. You lot are great. Thank you for tuning in.
God love you.
We appreciate you, man. You've got the strength of 1,000 man, because I couldn't do it.
No, but I feel like Max Verstappen fans who listen to our podcast, big up yous, because yous can take a joke. Yous can take a joke. And you're not taking life too seriously.
Exactly. It's all bad. But the thing is, yeah, Verstappen fans, what you're realizing now is, yeah, a lot of you, man, didn't even support Verstappen, yeah? It was anyone but Lewis. So that's why last season, you, man, were riding out. Because I've seen you, man, with the Seb profile pictures, with the 33 banners. I've seen you, man, who used to be repping. Maybe you had Schumacher photos, but then you're repping Verstappen. You all just wanted Lewis out the paint last year. So that's why you went hard and you were horrible about it. But the thing is now, you've hitched yourself to a wagon that's got faulty wheels. You've hitched yourself to a wagon that's being sinking ship. But it's being drawn by a donkey. And that donkey, its hoofs are clapped. So that's why the whole thing's gone to shit. And I'm so happy. And honestly, I hope it happens for the rest of the season. I hope every other race, there's just like a small incident of some sort that you have to deal with. And I hope you lot.
The donkey you lot attached yourselves to was spray painted in gold.
There you go.
Spray painted. It went.
It weren't
actual gold, but you
weren't
didn't
gold.
take time to test it out.
Exactly. Do
It
you know
was just
what?
spray painted.
You know what? They got sold magic beans, bruv.
Yeah, magic beans. That's what it was.
That's what you got. You got sold magic beans, bruv. Instead of a beanstalk, all you man got is failure.
You not bought those aliens. You remember them aliens when we were little kids? You were people who bought aliens and actually believed that it was going to make babies.
You know what? Yeah,
make babies, love.
It
never made them.
You know what? You know they got. They got the fake Tamagotchis, bruv. You got the reborn Tamagotchis where after an hour it just kind of cut out. Your animal's dead. Everything's done. Finished. Look. Well done, Red Bull Powertrains. I hope all those people you poached from Mercedes are working out for you. We're not missing them. So yeah, big up Red Bull Powertrains. So yeah, they're my donkey of the day. I'm also gonna say British media. Stop trying to spin.
British media.
Stop trying to spin narratives, bro.
Stop trying to cook and flipping tumble the story, yeah?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all love. People are cool with each other.
Everyone loves each other.
In the back.
Before we go, Anita.
Hello.
My Sharona.
I wanted to ask you a question, actually.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to get you on a while ago because you posed a question on Twitter, which I just wanted to touch on.
Ooh, am I in trouble?
No, not at all. Not at all. And I guess maybe, we've all kind of moved on a little bit from it. But basically what you talked about was why, as a black F1 fan, Abu Dhabi kind of affected everyone in the way that it did, right? And there was a lot of discussion around that. I think it was a really good conversation point. And I don't want to bring up Abu Dhabi again because we're all just trying to get over it and stuff. But I guess as a black woman, being in this sport, and obviously as a black woman in football as well, I guess, do you see any parallels, or are there like big differences in, I guess, how you support Formula One and how you support football? Maybe I've not worded that amazingly, but it'd just be cool to get comparisons and or differences in how you've been a fan of either.
Oh, that's a big question. Big question. I'll put it this way. So being black and watching football is a struggle in itself, but over lockdown, it was kind of like, okay, we're starting to understand where you're coming from. We can see the abuse straight then and there. Like it's all in your face for football now. Football, there's so many no room for racism campaigns, and it's like you cannot kind of dictate the narrative to football fans anymore. If you're racist, basically. And if you were once racist and you started to realize that what you're doing is wrong, you're changing your ways. That's what football is right now. But Formula One is a whole different ball game, and it shocked me to my core because my dad loves Formula One. He's a big F1 fan, and he used to support Verstappen. He always drilled in my head, Verstappen's going to be next up. Verstappen this, Verstappen that. And I'm just like, okay, Dad, no problem. And I was just giving the thumbs up, like, I like Lewis Hamilton, but obviously my dad loves Lewis Hamilton as well, but he always said Verstappen being the next one up. But going into this season, my dad he was just like, it just feels a bit off. It feels weird. I don't like the way they're portraying this fight between Lewis and Verstappen. So I started paying close attention to it. And no matter what had happened, Lewis was always the villain.
Yeah.
it kind of shocked me a little bit, even when Verstappen drove over his head, right?
Yeah.
That for me was the biggest eye opener, because I wanted to be oblivious to all of it. I wanted to say, you know what, maybe Silverstone, maybe Lewis could have left him a bit more room, and you know. But after that, and I saw the reactions from fans, no one saw where Verstappen went wrong in that. And I'm just thinking, people, pundits were saying it's a racing incident, and I'm just thinking, like, why is this narrative so strong in Formula One? It just doesn't make any sense to me as to why Lewis has this perception, or is perceived as some sort of villain, no matter what the incident is. The incident could be tiny. Even when he got done for, I think it was his wing or something, and it was not, it didn't meet FIA.
Oh yeah,
standards.
in Brazil.
Yeah. Why is it that, you know, Verstappen was painted as kind of not a hero, but he was painted as this guy, thank you for bringing this up type of thing, pointing it out, even though you touched Lewis's car and you're not allowed to do that, take a £50,000 fine, but thank you anyway. And then the brake checking, and I'm thinking, Dad, like, yo, man just brake checked in. That's dangerous. Like, if I did that in my driver's license test, if I'm doing a test for my driver's license, I'm failing. Like, you know what? I'm failing. Sure. The narratives, they're just not adding up, and it makes Formula One a scary place. So whenever I say, like, I love what you and Thandie are doing, it's not just because you guys are speaking the realness. It's because you guys are breaking into a industry that I'm frightened of, bro. I am frightened of Formula One. So for you guys to be going in there and trying to change that narrative of how F1 fans are perceived is so commendable. It's absolutely commendable.
Thank you.
Honestly,
it's expecting that. That's really nice. Thank you.
Honestly, I told my dad about you guys all the time. Sometimes we sit down, we watch your podcast together, because it's just like, doing it in football is one thing, right? And I started doing it in football, in 2019. Please, people will tell me about myself. People tell me about my skin tone. I'll be like, let me tell you about your hairline. I don't really care. But the second I made that tweet that you mentioned, and the fans were piling in. All of it's not about race. It's not about this. It's not about that. I'm just thinking, I can't be black in this place in peace. Like, I can't talk about my experiences in this place in peace. Can you imagine if Formula One or Sky F1 did a whole episode on being black in F1? Oh my God, the Ofcom would be through the roof. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to be in Formula One, and what happened to Hamilton in Abu Dhabi, it's more than just being cheated. It's more than just the yellow flag came at the right time, or the pit stops, or if Lewis had pitted before, blah, blah, blah. It's none of that. There was a clear motive there to stop Lewis Hamilton from winning that race. And really and truly, what I meant by the tweet was that symbolizes a lot of us in our lives trying to go through paths, trying to break barriers. Lewis was about to break a record, like trying to break barriers, trying to be the best that you can be. And then a white man comes in and says, nah, that's not going to happen. And they just change the narrative. But yeah.
Look, Ania, thank you. I mean, look, I wish I had sound effects. that was fucking incredible. And there's literally nothing I can add to that other than thank you. And it's nice to be seen. And, you know, again, I always say that I don't receive half the stuff that Thandie gets, and I'm sure the stuff that you probably got off that post, and it kind of just shows that, you know, whatever does happen, it's always disproportionately against black women as well, and like it's just really important to know that, because I see on the timeline as well, I see how, you know, some of our mutuals who are black women get treated whenever they try and just have an opinion of their own, which might differ from other people. And I'm sick of it. I hate it, and I want to call it out every time I see it. But it's cool to have this podcast with you guys and to have that visibility, because I think there's, you know, F1 signed a deal the other day with Twitter, and they're going to make bare money out of F1. I'm going to make so much money. Let me tell you now, Black F1 Twitter, we fucking got these man that bag, and that is mostly black women. And it was their posts and it's their originality and it's their content which has carried the sport online, and they deserve a cut of that, and maybe I deserve 0.1% of that as well. But look, I don't need look, but look. What I'm saying is, well done for you for saying that. I really appreciate that. And look, I think that's an amazing place to leave it. Anita, you've been an incredible guest. I'm gonna put some applause over the top here, but I'm gonna just give you a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anita, where can people find you online?
Oh, Lewis fans, you can find me. You can find me at FLWN _ on all platforms, and you can find me on the Gold Diggers podcast, where it's a bunch of women, so no misogynists, please. A bunch of women just talking about football, you know, living their lives as football ladies, and yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me.
Underselling yourself. It's an incredible platform. You've done incredible work on there, and I'm really proud of you guys. So thank you so much for coming on. Thandie, any last words? No. You know what? I'm decommissioning you from doing the outro, okay?
Do you know what, Nyasha? I actually sat there once, and I sat there on my bed and I said, all that could come out of my head was that live, and it just like.
Look, we're not putting that in.
Help me. If anyone can send me something.
You know what? Guys, in the comments,
on
Twitter, give us an outro. We need an outro because we can't just be saying bye.
Actually, best outro gets a free top from us.
Okay, cool. We'll do it. We'll do it.
I will personally send you that video with the top with a kiss on the thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Please give me a good outro.
Let's not put people off by sending them damaged goods. But yes, metaphorically, Thandie will kiss the top and send it to you. Give us an outro. The best outro will get anything they want from the Fanatic store up to £100. There you go.
And look,
Buy something.
Did you see how we put up to £100?
Up to £100. We're not balling. So guys, thank you so much. Guys, see you soon. Goodbye. Thanks. Bye. See you later.